Hello, sailing fans. Race 2 of the theater style final here in World Cup of Sailing, Palma de Mallorca 2013. Second race coming up. Eric Kyle and Thomas Plosel, the German team here, branded SAP and Audi, have a chance to wrap up the title in this race if they can put enough points on second place. Between them and second place, Dave Evans and Ed Powes, the British boat with the silver quick clink blue band there, who are just in the blue jerseys, just going behind them. So we'll be watching that battle as well. Then there's a battle for third place between Alan Norgard and Dave Evans. So Dave Evans slipped back, so the two Brits, or Brit and Dane, fighting for the bronze medal. We've also got, for the first time, Jonathan Bay and Chris Thorsnell. They had an equipment issue before the first race, had to withdraw and missed that, but they're now back out on the course. A few more teams drifting out to look at the port tack option this time. Looks like two for sure, the Paz brothers, the Spanish to Leeward, and the Dave Evans and Ed Powes, and the British and the number 2, or the light blue jerseys here. We just saw Matthew Frey and Jan Rocheroux win the first race of the series with that's the French boat right there, by coming off the pin and being first at the pin, and we just saw them doing a practice start to come at the pin as well. So if I had to guess, I'd say they're going to try the same thing again. Wow, a lot of teams looking to set up for the port tack option now. Here goes off Jonathan Bay. He did that. He started on port last time as well. So did Dave Evans. Now we got the Paz brothers and Eric Kyle. So this is more typical of what we saw in Garda for the 2012 Europeans, with the fleet evenly split between port tack start and a starboard start. And we'll see as teams battle with each other towards the end. I wonder if there's something going on here with Heil and Dave Evans. They've just been circling each other a little bit. Heil can wrap up the regatta if he puts some points between himself and Dave Evans right now. So let's just keep an eye on that. Here comes Alan Norgard setting up for his port tack start. 2008 gold medalist Jonas Warner sitting in front, not so deep. So we've got the French alone on the start line almost, except for Jonathan Bay and Chris Thorsnell. Now the Germans spot the opening and fill that gap. So at least there's 3 boats on starboard on the start line. Not a typical 49er race, that's for sure. And they all dip in. Jonas goes for his duck. He's going to have to duck all the way below. And the French look to accelerate. Clean start. Good acceleration there from Heil. Good start also from Jonathan Bay, the Danish boat, 1242, making his debut in our theater. This is going to be a tough rules situation here. See if Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud can get room to tack. I think they will have room to tack. Jonathan Bay is definitely falling backwards. They're going to have to all pass it on, and they all go for the tack. Eric Heil crosses. Yeah, he had a good start at the boat there. So he's got the first cross. Let's see how far he extends it. He'll also have a couple guys to navigate through the madness for him, so he'll be able to get a good idea of what's going to happen to him.
And I think the Paz brothers on the other side, they went off on port and they had a really good acceleration as well. It'll be really tight. We'll see here.
Yeah, by my eye, they're ahead. Actually, even Jonas Warner looks ahead to me. Go outside the camera boat. And yeah, Jonas Warner through. Tight cross there. Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud all the way down into 6th. So the strategy that worked one race didn't work this time, and the Paz brothers have made it through. Where did Eric Heil had to duck as well? So the guys who came to this close side really haven't done well. Meanwhile, the guys on the far side now moving into the lead is Stevie Morrison and Ben Rhodes, and they've tacked right on top of Carlos Paz and Anton Paz. Those guys have no luck in this theater, I'll tell you that much. From a brilliant start, now they've got to sit in a bad lane the rest of the way. Meanwhile, up here on coming all the way to the close side was Jonas Warner and Peter Lang. They're in good, strong wind right now and are definitely in the front row. Here comes back Jonathan Bay and Chris Thorsnell crossing countrymen Norgard and Alders Thompson. The French coming back on the starboard ley line, they're also crossing at Norgard, so he's not having the best of races. In the battle for bronze, it's Norgard versus Dave Evans. Dave Evans just going for attack, Eric Heil outside him, and Norgard's going to sit right on top of both of them.
Big gust coming in here.
Yeah, it's really breezy, as we can see right now. There will be breeze on as these guys set. It's probably also left. I think every time we've seen the big puffs, it's been from the left. So let's see if Morrison, who's round first with his crew member Ben Rhodes, they still have the judge has cut across them again, but anyways, Morrison or Rhodes finally gets in to be able to hoist, and the G4S spinnaker full immediately, right back on the wire. Those guys have, look how low they are. They're almost going straight down the course.
From a great start, somehow got back to the end of the pack, but
yeah, Thomas
Evans having some trouble with the windward mark, so they're still.
Dave, yeah, we've got a tight battle here between Alan Norgard just rolling the French, Matthew Frey coming into the leeward marks. You can see how windy it is. Morrison's gone for his jibe, and just stay here and do a loop. Yeah. Morrison, Ben Rhodes gets the shoot down. Anton Paz holds out Norgard. Let's see if he can pull off his jibe. He does, but the guys are late getting their shoots down. Capsize from, that's Jonas Warner, I believe, or is it Jonathan Bay? That is Jonathan Bay. So first time out, they've missed their race, and now they've capsized, so unfortunate for them. Out the other side, Morrison and Rhodes are really looking nice. Coming to the close side, I don't know what's happened to...
I think he had to avoid...
No, Jonathan, or Alan Norgard can't get his spinnaker down. He's only finally got it down now. He missed the leeward mark. Jonas Warner's also missed the leeward mark. So a bunch of guys having a lot of trouble on this mark. Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud dropped the main sheet as they went round to do a jibe set. Now they've had to avoid Alan Norgard, even though they were on starboard actually. So the fleet is really strung out on that first beat. That puff hit, I don't think the guys were ready for it. Dave Evans, lap back, he must have hit the windward mark or something, had to do a 360. Whew. Quite a lot of action there. Everything just happened all at once. It was a close race, and then it just turned into a procession in very short order. Well, the only real competitive spots left in the market. Well, and how did Eric Heil climb back so far? He was in seventh around the windward mark, and now he looks like he's in third, if not
all
third.
The boats in front of him understood the ley line, and he just hit it perfectly.
The downwind ley line.
Yeah, that saved him a lot of meters.
Okay, so yeah, we saw all those boats miss the leeward marks, get their timing wrong, probably all holding each other out, and Eric Heil was able to just navigate cleanly. There's the Paz brothers looking to capitalize on this left shift. I noticed you putting your hood up, Max. It's gotten cold with this wind, hasn't it?
And the spray's picking up.
The spray's picking up.
Getting bumpy.
Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud are crossing, that's Alan Norgard there, the Dane, and they'll be looking to tack inside Eric Hale, so we got a bit of a battle on for third in this race. Well, hopefully Carlos Paz and Anton Paz will be able to hold their position. Here goes around the windward mark, Morrison and Rhodes, much cleaner rounding this time. Rhodes is in the boat quickly and able to do a normal hoist, and he's managed to pick that kite up. So those guys are off. Let's see what happens on the ley line there. Heil and Matthew Frey have both tacked simultaneously. They've got Alan Norgard coming in late. Let's see if Alan Norgard tries to tack underneath or if he goes outside. No, he is tacking underneath, but he's not going to challenge them from their positions. And meanwhile, it's going to be a tight battle here on the set between crews Jan Richaud and Thomas Plosel. Let's see who can get the kite up. They come in almost simultaneously and hoist. Boom at the top for the Seiko branded kite there, and they get filled first. Some valuable meters, but not too far behind was Heil and Plosel, so that's a really tight rounding here. Thomas Plosel hasn't even clipped in yet. He's all lit up. Actually, but, yeah. So they're gonna be able to hold out. We got another capsized boat? Is this the same one?
Again. He just,
so really tight incident here. The Seiko branded boats having to cross or having to jibe and see if they can cross. They pulled it off. No protest that I can see. So they got enough meters ahead that they were able to do it. But they are overstood. So they're going to have to douse early, which they do now. So once again, we've seen Heil and Plosel. They'll be able to pull some more meters again on this by doing a low set. And Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud aren't able to get their spinnaker down. They've gone past the leeward marks. You can see.
He's got a knot.
He's got a knot. You can see Jan Richaud in the boat. There, he's finally been able to take the spinnaker down. He'll have to loop around and then re-round. Meanwhile, Jonas Warner and Peter Lang have jibed to the near side.
I think it's a good chance for Dave Evans to catch up again.
Yeah, here comes Dave Evans. Those guys must have hit the windward mark on the first lap, and they're just sailing the course now. Wow, Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud have now had to tack to get up and around the capsized boat of Jonathan Bay. So really disappointing for those guys to go from third, 2 tacks to re-round the leeward mark, all because of one knot. Here at the front end of the fleet, Morrison and Rhodes have got a commanding lead on second place Paz brothers. Eric Heil closing the gap on them. They've sailed really nicely considering how they rounded the first windward mark. So full credit goes to those guys. Let's see if they can put the Paz brothers under pressure and wrap this championship up during this race. Mid-pack, we've got the two Danish medalist helms battling with each other. Looks to me like almost dead even. Jonas might have this cross. That's the near boat. Yeah, he does quite comfortably, and actually Eric Heil and Thomas Postel tack right on top of him, so he doesn't get it. So Alan Norgard slipped back in this race steadily. Oh, Dave Evans is now stuck and capsizing onto the far lane boundary, so boat handling letting him down there. And Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud just sailing through. Once again, so this is the second time in a row we've seen the fleet really spread out. What do you think's happening here, Max?
I don't know, I think as soon as it gets really close and really windy, especially at the downwind lay lane, it's tricky because the boats that manage to get onto the inside after the windward mark, they will keep the other boats in front from jibing just on the ley line, and once you're past the ley line, there's not much room left for the kite to be dropped and get ready for the mark rounding, and once it starts to get ugly, then chaos just breaks.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the teams that are able to low set are putting the teams who are ahead of them under a lot of pressure, and we're seeing...
I think Harry did it with the French in the last lap, so that's why they were in such great trouble.
Yeah, obviously that was just a knot, so that's unrelated.
It does look the same now with Jonas Bauer. I think he's on the inside of Eric, but he might be able to...
Yeah, that's we were just talking about a boat setting low, being able to hold out the boat that's slightly to windward of them from jibing, and we're going to see a good example of that right here as Jonas Warner tries to steal a couple points on Eric Heil and Thomas Plosel. So they'll jibe simultaneous. And as you can probably see from this angle, the Germans probably won't make the pin, whereas the Danes will. No, they're not. They're fine. But definitely, well, they're having to rag the kite to get it. So that's a great example of a low boat trying to hold out a higher boat and trying to make it pass that way, as Eric Heil goes for a little dip here to finish the race off, and then he picks himself back up. We actually can't tell who beat who to the line there, but I'm assuming the Germans got that out. Meanwhile, this is probably sixth place with Dave Evans and also Jonathan Bay. Capsized is the first race winners, Matthew Frey and Jan Richaud. So on to the next race.